Hello everyone, this is Infected, StarCraft 2 player. Been trying to find more fun ways to kind of make Zerg, not imbalanced, but just make it more fun. Kind of break up the monotony of Zerg baneling, Zerg baneling, Mutalisk, and all the stuff that it becomes boring and monotonous after a while. So I've been trying to come up with ways, previous videos, bro, baneling lands and whatnot. Well, today I'm going to talk about drop play and how much you can actually hinder your opponent. So most of the games today are going to be a ZVP, just because Protoss, if they don't have a pylon near you, their ability to hold off any type of drop attacks is severely limited. Alright, so this game I did play really, really poorly. This guy, my opponent Urand, he was a platinum player. Didn't see what rank he was, but he played pretty decently. Here, just me doing my normal thing in Protoss versus Zerg. It's 14 pool, 15 hatch, and Overlord, and then kind of just get gassed around 40. Yeah, so not much to talk about. This game ended up being super long, so kind of just going to speed up to ×8. I made 6 things just because I wanted to see if I can delay his expansion, but he went gateway first, so no go there. And here I'm just sending wings to kind of scout for pylons. It's always a good Zerg thing to do. And then again, just checking. Typically most people won't do this, but I'll always leave wings at like expansions. So if I know my opponent goes for a really greedy build, I don't want him to have the advantage over me. And I go for an early third. I have gas, I throw down my roach one, failing nest at the same time as I get gas. I have all 4 gas. So pretty standard stuff right now. Here he is. Looks like he was gonna do for like a mortal gateway push, but Zergling Baneling, sorry, counters that just because sentries, if you don't get the force fields in time, die or backblade to banelings, and immortals too will just get chewed apart by Zerglings. Just making more banelings, getting the Zerglings ready. The Zerg thing, you always want to fight them on creep. What he did here was actually pretty wise. Basically put pressure, so it forces me to overreact. So I have not as high as worker supply as I would like. I mean, granted, I'm up like 20 over him. I mean, he's a little faint. And he's just teching up. Let's see. Yep, he sees me. That's what I have. So, like I said, it just turns into like a little kind of low tier type of game. And it just turned out to be quite a long one, so just keep spinning things up. See, battles will slow down. But I'm kind of just tell everyone what actually happens. So, it's a hallucination. Which goes for a little bit of Warp Prism harass, kind of throws me off my guard. See if he can snipe any attacking workers. Then he pushes out with his army. My unit composition for this game, I want it to be sliding quite a bit. Crap. My composition, I wanted to do the roach infestor. And the roach infestor, the whole thing was I was going to try using the parasite to take his immortals out of the equation, see if I can snag a couple colossus. But then yep, kind of in typical Protoss deathball fashion, a lot of gateway units. He has a couple high Templars in there, and then just a couple colossus will chew through my speedings. Like I said, here it is, just being a little pain in the butt. Yep, and I lose his space. So I mean, army-wise, we're about the same, but he's doing feints. I'm trying to counter him through pressure. Kind of lost more than I bargained for, but yeah. Alright, I had burrow bailing. I was hoping to be able to detonate it later. Yeah, I'm trying to use Nidus networks just to delay the expansion. Another fun thing to do, just that was pretty funny. It's a pretty fun thing to use Nidus worms just to, again, delay things. Work a harass as soon as the army moves out. So you notice the burrowing's here, so I pretty much have an idea where his army is. Here, yep, see the narrow parasite. As soon as his army moves back, I move these guys back in there. I saw him move something up there, so that's the reason I had these couple roaches going up. But tunneling claws, not very good against Protoss because they'll always have cannons. And here I'm trying to use drop just to evacuate most of my roaches. And that's a Terran bomb. So I'm just attacking all fronts. However, any just straight on battle, I will lose. That was kind of a waste. Here, just working DTs. Perfect counter harass measure. I do have a spore there, but I mean. So this is going to come down to the big final battle, or just kind of the big battle. I've harassed him enough where he's either kind of an all-in situation. Actually, I take that back. No. He's not floating a lot of money, which is very good, but looking back now, I kind of take back. This guy was kind of bad. But my unit composition, sure I may have 3-3, but it's not going to do jack squat versus this army. Between the storms and feedbacks, what few parasites I can land, it's not going to end well. Yep, see the storms, feedbacks, just pretty much just murdered me. And even if I already maxing out on roaches, but it's just like his composition is way too good for it. So I'm gonna keep pressing the attack here. Just try taking out as much as I can. He's all mining from his natural, his main's mined out. Another massive battle. I didn't micro very well against the storms, but again, his army is the perfect counter to what I have, regardless if I like the endless swarm bug thing. And never want to have a laser work units. Yep. So here I go. There's another base. So you just used a nice one to kind of save my drones. Kind of realized I was kind of silly though. Oh, right, I never realized that I lost this many. Just makes me sad. Oh, Bailey's DT is being a little prick. Here, I think I have enough to kind of hold him back. But then I'm starting to make Swarm Host now. Swarm Host is like the only unit that can actually scare Protoss players to keep going against you. But I mean, this is not showing what I really wanted to show for this video. It's just a very long game where I'm down, I have no income whatsoever. I have enough to build a hatchery, which is intentional. And I'm just being a little bitch, just trying to harass him every way possible. And because his bad money management or worker management, he's just long distance mining here. So here he's trying to just scout around, see if I have another bases. So I'll start long distance mining from here. Alright, so what I wanted to talk about for this game. Drop play. This game what I did very well is pick them apart. Now, in the long run it always leaves your army vulnerable, so you kind of have to have the perfect counter. I wanted to pick up the Hudson Empire because, again, Storm's murder. And this Zergling Roach is very good for harassment like this. It's always going to keep them off. Drop. Anyways, I'm getting distracted right now. There it is. So, I whittled him down. I was actually surprised that's all he had. Technically, I think I might have been able to take that, but okay, I see I really messed up in this game. Alright, but here we go. Drop harass. So it gets an observer. Pretty much, I'm just calling his entire army just to get out of position. Now, a pro player probably would have capitalized on that and actually had units just sit here, take out workers, while my drop play was kind of pushing his army back, causing it to just go every which way. Gary's being really wise. He's building more workers to keep mining from this base. Here, again, I get scared. This is not much. I should have moved out with my Swarm Host earlier. Kind of pressure him, but he has too many force fields and Storm. Yep, here I am again. Just try to do as much damage to his infrastructure. Because eventually what happens towards the end of this game is that he ends up saving up enough money to expand here. Granted, it takes him a very, very long time. He expands, he starts just mining, building up his economy, fixes his infrastructure, and here I am kind of doing this, trying to do the same thing, trying to be able to expand. But I sat back instead of capitalized on kind of forcing him to go every which way. He did take that one out, so I do try another drop somewhere. Another good thing he did was just keep an observer here, just watching whatever units. And yeah, so strategy was to capitalize on your opponent's armies out of place. I guess looking back now, I should have won this game. I kind of feel stupid now. But when I drop this Swarm Host here, as soon as he moves up, because I had the chainlings spawning his army, as soon as he moved up, I should have had roaches just kill every worker. And because he keeps spending money on workers, I should have. I feel stupid now. But that's why I have replays, and that's why we have games like this. Kind of watch and learn. Yeah, another thing is I never got the upgrade for the Swarm, for the Locust. Yep, and it just basically turns into like a waiting game. Yep. Bye-bye, Overlord. Yeah, yep. Start to expand. This game isn't the very best. Like I said in the beginning, I played pretty piss poor this game. My unit composition, it's very good for harassing, it's very good for picking apart tech, but for taking on a death ball, his unit's build, whatever you want to say, composition, was the right counter to mine. I never actually capitalized on my ability to kind of capitalize on my advantage when he was out of place. And that's kind of the one cool thing about drop plays. It doesn't always have to be Bane Ran. You don't have to drop wings into a base. Like I love dropping wings here. I do try burrowing them as soon as I see. Yep, right here. That way I'm hoping at a later time I can just bring them up, go and just kill workers. Alright, so to reiterate, without sounding like a snobby know-it-all, draw play it's been done by Terran so much that, I mean, Zerg, you have every right to use it. And it does the exact same thing that when in PvT they do to us, where they drop in our mineral lane while a splinter of their army goes out and push our main. Now, granted, we don't have medevacs and we don't have stim, so Zerg is kind of stunted that way. However, with just the right unit composition, we can actually hold any we can hold which army is coming at us. But if we split it up, then we're just weaker, and if we go just move our entire army to one, we're going to lose an advantage that we had earlier. So that's why drop plays are so cool. Alright, so this game, Whirlwind. This guy has such a stupid name, Yellow Swaggins. Kind of weirded me out. Chuckled when I saw on the loading screen. So again, same opener. 14 pull into 15 hatch into an overlord. Then I triple expanded this game. I wasn't sure what this guy was doing. Whirlwind's such a hard map to scout with overlord just because of how big it is. So I'm gonna go times 8. This game, this player, he did timing. He did some type of early gateway pressure with the mothership core, which a lot of Protoss players have been doing. Typically, if you're unprepared, you'll lose a queen, quite a few links, and then he'll just mass recall, which is annoying, very annoying to say the least. I saw his base, I saw he expanded, so I have my third metabolic boost and banelings, just because they can hold against any gateway army. Yep, and here we go. Kind of want to pause. For people that actually have trouble engaging, you want to make a list of priority targets. Mothership core, because any tier 1 that Zerg has can't shoot up air except for queens. And you kind of want to have Zerglings take out the sentries because their force fields are like T1 through 3.5. It's a pain in the ass for us. So that's the reason why I moved my links here, even though it's kind of seemed stupid. Here I'm just channeling more lanes to kind of do as much damage, and see, because I've made so many lanes down, drone counts behind his, it's a pretty silly and infuriating thing for me. I've actually lost quite a few games where they'll do that, then they'll switch into DTs, at which time I'm still trying to recover. Alright, but I do have speed, I do have the Baneling's Nest, so I also have burrow on the way, because I want to try utilizing just trying to capitalize. I lost a lot of lanes needed this here, so I'm off to a very good start. Alright, so still trying to spread my creep, still making drones, yep. And he's pushing out, he has a +1, so it's kind of like a +1 timing. Saw it coming with this watchtower, just kind of he would let me keep it. I pretty much knew that it was dead, and just right-clicked the mineral patches. Yep, and I just want to make sure I have enough links here, starting with banelings. Yep, and he's doing an annoying Protoss thing, like I said earlier, where it's just mass recalls. I do have 1-1. The unit composition I want to go for this game, just because, like, such wide areas to actually get surrounds, was Ultraless Link, like fast through 3 ultras. So that was my initial plan. I'm not sure if he caught wind of it. He does have this, so he's going to try pushing again for opening timing. Oh, burrow links, he's the armor coming out. I have more banelings on the way. I have 1-1, he has 1-1. I have 2-2 on the way, he only has 2 attack on the way. Income wise, I'm ahead now, but like I'm not mining efficiently enough. He does have blink, so right now my biggest fear is just the sentries, and then with enough lanes I know I can take them out. See, up. Still kind of new to the hotkeys. What I was doing there was I'm trying to bait them into force fielding. That way I can still make more lanes, wait for more reinforcements. I do not want to lose this base again. I may have had this one established, but he's already grabbed the third base. I already know that. So as soon as I lose this, I'm pretty much all in at this point. I need the income. I really need it. Oh, fuck. Let me do this. Alright, so like I was saying earlier with drop play, it's kind of a way to hold back your opponent. Huh, I completely forgot I did this. So, Bane Rain on the mineral line. Oh, it's always a fun thing to do, but it isn't the focus for like the strategy of actual doing drops. So, why is it seeing a slow motion on? It just looks weird. Alright, so I did a little bit of damage to his economy. I pretty much took out all the units that are very good counter to my lanes. So even with his blink, I can actually force this back down. So as anyone with a brain will know now, I have drops. My 2/2's on the way. He has plus 2 attack and plus 1 armor. He's starting to get his 2 armor right now. And right now I'm in pretty good shape. I held off his attack pretty well. Here I'm trying to send a counter attack in, but this guy, he wants to be protected. But he's on 3 bases pretty well. He can pretty much just fall back, macro, go Colossus. He does have Storm since he saw a lot of wings. So I mean, this guy, he's playing it pretty smart. Here I'm trying to pick off pylons. I missed this one, but I get it back later. So here, like I said again, burrowing into expansions. Kind of always want to do that. So then, at some point I do start building quite a few wings. Set them up to 2 separate control groups. That way, take this one out, or force this army out of position. That's all counterattacks are. That's all what these type of drops I'm talking about are for. So I know his army's there. Doing these things. Nope. There we go. Trying to go to the front, trying to go in the back. Just more wing. Just more worker kills. That's always a good thing for me. Man. Army's out of position. Picked off his high tempo, which is a good pick me up. And I'm doing pretty good this game. I have my ultra list around 20-minute mark. Considering he has attacked me 3 times now, that's not too bad. I have 3/3 on the way, kindness planning on the way. Kind of upset. I don't remember if I got a 3 no lands. But I also have a fifth expansion kind of started. My income right now, 74 drones. That's actually pretty good. You want to kind of keep that 74 between 70 and 80. Here comes the first major engagement. I show my ultra list, but he has immortals and the storms clean up all my wings, so it's a big loss on my end. But I just build more wings. Also, if anyone was paying attention, I also do build a Nidus network. I don't really use it very well, but in the end, it's kind of actually ends up saving me. Alright, so he does a smart thing, warps and zealots here. That's what I'm talking about with kind of the mobility of Protoss. It's strict, but also very fluid at the same time. Alright, so this is like a typical game again, where no one's actually doing anything, just trying to macro out. They kind of just max out and go out with their scary army. Here, because I know this last battle, I threw down my roach warren, threw down my hydrogen. So I pretty much just have to throw away my army now so I can start making them. So, and again, just more delay tactics. I mean, I may have 3/3 ultras, but against this army composition, especially with boilers being mixed in now, it's gonna melt away like butter. Always remember that, be smart. Take off an immortal is a nice pick, but this guy went bonkers on cannons. Again, just trying to cause them to stall. And then again, because a lot of people always immediately like unload after their Nidus doesn't work. It may seem kind of silly, but it's keeping his high damage outputs from going. And again, the fungal growth is just trying to lock him in place. And then here, I have my roach and hydras coming out. Alright, and it'll basically just melt through this army. Now granted, upgrade wise it's gonna suck, especially for advantage wise, but I didn't lose a base. I may have lost quite a few units, but he is still on the back foot. Alright, well, and I do get my expansion too at the same time, so I'm in pretty good shape. But we'll talk about when you should start trying to think about drops to breaking the nut, so to speak. This guy is cannon happy. 4 cannons, and then as soon as he expands, I think he puts like 4 more cannons here. A lot of good casters would say that is a waste, considering how much you're going to be making from the base, but it's actually very good because it prevents him from all my wing counterattacks. If I went to a mutalisk, sure I could take out the pylon, but I mean 20. So basically every volley from these is just 80 damage to a mutalisk that only has like 100 or 120 health points, so not good. You can't really crack them, you can't really starve them out. And look at this composition, it's a little bit of everything. Doing the High Templars with the Storms, Charge Lots, Immortals, Void Race. It's pretty much a counter to everything that Zerg can make. Yeah, try doing Storm dodging, but I'm pretty horrible at it. They all end up dying again. He falls back. Alright, here we go. This is the Infestor hit squad. So I also have the Hydras going down here. I actually remember from last time, we're capitalized on the army being out of place. Either try and take out a couple structures, try to go for the rocks. I think it was a misclick. Here's the Infestor hit squad. I'm actually from both the workers. Now currently, the early attacks with the wings here just did pretty decent damage. Like overall, if this game didn't drag out so long, if I was able to actually destroy him with the Ultralisk the first attack, the game would have been over. Just because I could just stream wings and reinforce while Ultralisk just tank for assault. But because he landed on his feet, he's got his suspensions coming up again, I'm going to have the drops is what kind of breaks him. Here I got a pretty decent angle. It was preventing his Void Race from focusing on the roaches. And just the Hydralisks are always in the back just to take them. I do another Infestor drop, trying to whittle down the Infestor tad. But here we go to the Infestor hit squad. 2 fungals to kill a worker. I'm now up to 33 workers killed. Here he's finally maxed out a little bit. He's starting to build Colossus, which luckily he doesn't have in his army, because that would just melt right through my Hydras, and they're kind of essential to the process. So yep, see how low his money is now. Warp gates. He only has 11 warp gates. So I mean, you can only get 7 zealots, 8 zealots now, maybe 4 stalkers. you can't utilize that much production. Targets, I mean, you can start building up. He's sitting back now because he's maxed, but again, I don't want him to sit back too long because every second that I give up an advantage, he gets one himself. Again, failing to micro at all. Dead units. Yep, and he's got more Colossus on the way because he's seen my tech switch. He's seen I'm pretty dedicated to it. But I am wearing him down. That's kind of the nice thing about this, or the biggest thing about this game. He has idle probes. He's not warping in all the time. He's still maxed out, but he's seeing my tech options right now, and he's kind of unsure, I would think. I am trying to expand again. I want to keep my gas up with my minerals just because Hydra's pretty expensive. Yeah, I still have the burrowings. I have it at the expansion points, except for this one, which I kind of feel bad. I feel stupid about. I knew that his attacks, like counter attacks, were imminent, so it's the reason I started throwing down lots of spines at my base. It's a little late at this one, but he kind of sees us. Okay, free base. I'll take it. Yep. Trying to pick him apart again. Wisely pulls the probes away. Up to 49 workers killed. Anyone that's kind of another tidbit that's irrelevant to the topic on hand with special units drops or special tactics. You always want to keep an eye on your army, because padding like this will greatly show the effect or the outcome. You may have told them on the attack command, but Hydras, they'll counter Void Rays, they'll chew through Templars if they don't have a chance to storm. And the DPS is 0.86 like attack per second per Hydra. So granted it's 10, but with under 10 seconds, the little shields are down. Roaches here, they can just soak up most of the damage. So the moment his army split up just to kill this base, he loses about half his army. That's no Archons, no Storm. Right here I actually get my first bit of luck of being cost efficient with my units. Just for second of base. Something I wouldn't like go out and preach to do, but here trying to again force his army out of position a little bit more. And I'm still macroing like a champ. Alright, so pretty much how this game went is he got the right unit composition to counter what I was going for. So then I kind of just sacrificed it and tech switched on him. And then it just came back down to just macroing up. Now with the Vipers out to kind of take the key units out of the equation, this game ends with the final battle up here where I pull his Colossus into my Roach Hydra. But take note of that's all he has in the bank. 265 minerals, 712 gas. 2 zealots, stalker and a half, maybe a couple centuries. All because of the Infestor hit squad. You could try the same thing with Swarm Host. One thing that would have been really cool about using the Swarm Host for stuff like that would be, because it always spawns units and it's always burrowed, you'd have to purposely make a cannon which could be focused down by the Swarm Host before it's even like finished. Or you'd have to force them to either make more observers or force them to actually have to pull one back. That and Swarm Host, the amount of damage and the DPS will just melt probes in like a single volley, I think. But look at his income. Pretty weathered down. He still kept making probes, but as the game draws on longer, you always keep an eye on if you have any idle probes or idle workers. I don't have any in my the empty Vespene geysers. And I still kept expanding, so I mean, my money was pretty up there. But special tactics saved the day. So I wasn't really focused on the topic in hand. I was just kind of showing kind of me picking apart a person. I mean, I'm not an egomaniac, but it happens sometimes. So again, I want to recap. The best time to kind of use special tactics, like special forces drops, is if you're ahead, but you can't seem to crack the opponent open. Certain maps, they'll be very good where they can actually use like siege up certain units, and you have no way of getting around them. Terran, like on Bestia Vestige, that middle ground between the natural and third base, all you have to do is save a couple marines in the main base, and then just siege up right at that little choke point next to the little cliff. And any attack towards the natural or third that goes up that pathway is immediately locked down. So what this player did this game, he kept his units here. The map worked out to my advantage, come to think of it, because he kept expanding, kind of like an infection, just like from a small point outwards, and it gets really hard to control perimeter as it keeps expanding out like that. He did very good with the cannons, which locked down the initial counterattacks I had put on him. But towards the end, when just to get around the cannons, had to utilize the proper units. That's kind of what you want me in the game. If I haven't killed off those probes, he won't have to spend money to remake them. He won't have to waste time. He wouldn't have to waste time trying to remake the probes. He wouldn't have to waste the money and the time to remake the probes. Time and the money that he could have put into replacing the army he was losing. And not only that, he kept pulling his army back every time with the counterattack. So not only was he out of place, he left holes in his kind of wall that I was able to exploit. So it kind of just comes down to protecting workers. And if you're the attacking, like for Zerg, you want to make sure that there's always holes where you can just penetrate in. Alright, so I'm going to leave that on a sexual note. If you guys like the content or have any criticisms or anything quality-wise or just commentator-wise, just leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.